I am so excited because Movo sent me this surprise package. Haven't opened it yet. I have no idea what's in it, and I thought I'd wait until you and I could open it together to see what's going on. And the weird thing is, you know what's inside, but I don't. And here's the situation. So I reached out to Movo and I said, I've reviewed a couple of your microphones in the past. It's been a while. Maybe you want to send me something and I'll review it. I'll give it a good, honest review. And they said, sure, why not? So they said, what do you want to review? I'm like, huh, okay. I've reviewed a couple of on-camera microphones recently, so, you know, maybe something a little different. And to be honest, I'm a little tired of wireless microphone reviews because I've reviewed 4 different wireless sets at this point. So I said, hey, how about something like a podcast microphone or, you know, something, a desktop microphone, radio, broadcast, you know, even like vocal singing microphone, whatever you want. So they sent me a package. They didn't tell me what they're sending me. So this is kind of cool. And you know what it is already because you've seen the title and the thumbnail of this video, and I assume I put the title of what this is in there, but I don't know it yet because that's in the future. I know, it's twisting my mind. But anyway, so you know what it is. I don't tell me, and we're gonna open this up now. By the way, before I open this up, I just wanna say, you're obviously not hearing the audio from what's inside this package. I am using a Movo microphone though. Can you see that? Right there? That's a lavalier microphone. It's their wired version. It's a very simple microphone. Sounds really good. Has a really long cable. So it's like I don't know, it's a 1,000-foot cable, a 20-foot cable, maybe something like that. Okay, so let's find out what this is. I'm so excited. Let's see. It's the UM300 USB microphone. It plugs into my computer. Good thing I have that with me. All right, but let's open it up. Well, paperwork, they're not stickers though, unfortunately, not stickers. Instructions, basic paperwork, I'll read that later. Why is it that I'm always opening things the wrong way? It just went clunk. I don't know if you watched the DJI Mini 2 unboxing I did. Fell right out of the package. A video that's coming out about the same time as this one, I ripped the box for a wireless microphone. Here's some cables. Ooh, look at that. Oh, so pretty. Do I have to say it? Kids, don't eat this. All right, so that is, yeah, so pretty, I mean, there's not a whole lot of accessories or anything like that. It's a microphone. You just don't need accessories, you need good sound.
Several days later.
Let me throw some quick stats at you. The Movo UM300 is part of their UM series. The UM300 is at the low end of the price range. So it's a USB mic and it inputs directly into your computer, and it retails for under $60 as of this video. There's a USB output jack on the bottom of the mic, and there's also a headphone jack. The microphone has a 3-capsule design, which allows you to electronically switch between a directional cardioid pattern and an omnidirectional pattern. There's one single knob that controls microphone level, headphone monitoring level, and also muting the microphone. And interestingly, their website says this is a 16-bit microphone, but the documents inside say 24-bit, and I confirmed with Movo it's actually 24-bit. Yay! Also, nowhere in their documentation on their website or in the microphone box does it say that it's a side address microphone, but it is, so don't try talking into the top of it, try talking at its front. The fact that Movo has made this a USB microphone means that they were aiming at a certain section of customer, and that's the type of person who is doing podcasts or other sorts of recording and is probably strictly recording on their computer. It's really convenient having a USB plug to just plug into your computer. However, that can be somewhat limiting compared to a traditional analog microphone. But if you're just using your computer, just doing podcasts, just doing streaming, something like that, then having a USB mic is perfectly fine. Something to keep in mind though is that if you want to use more than one USB microphone at a time, it can get a little tricky, technically speaking. You can't just plug 2 microphones into 2 different USB jacks and have it work, especially on a Mac. I haven't tried it on a Windows, but it's probably the same way. So there are some not workarounds, but there are some technical things that you have to do to make that happen. But it's not just plug and play like if you had 2 analog microphones and you just plugged them into 2 channels of a mixer. Now you're hearing the Movo UM300. UM300, and it's in cardioid mode right now, which means it's a directional microphone pattern. It's picking up mostly the sound coming into the front of the microphone and rejecting sound coming from the sides and the back. And for most purposes, that's what you want, because the other option is omnidirectional, which means you're picking up sound coming from all different directions at the same volume, essentially. And you're going to pick up room noise, and you're going to pick up echoes and things like that, and it can make your voice sound pretty muddy. All right, now I'm going to change it into Omni mode. And I think you can hear the difference pretty distinctly. Now the microphone is picking up sounds from all around the room. You'll notice, first of all, there's a lot of room sound. I sound further away from the microphone. And you may also notice that it doesn't sound as full and rich. And that's because cardioid microphones have a proximity effect. When you get your mouth close to the microphone, it increases the bass. It's just a physics thing. But with omnidirectional microphones, they don't have a proximity effect, so it's more of a flatter signal. And when I switch from one to the other, you can notice it as sort of almost losing the low end. This is actually more flat or neutral. But putting it into omnidirectional mode is actually useful when you have more than one person using the same microphone. You could set this microphone up between two people if you're doing a dual person podcast, you're interviewing someone, you don't have separate mics, that kind of thing. So omnidirectional is useful for that, but otherwise you'd probably want to keep it in cardioid mode. The single knob on the UM300 is actually pretty cool. It's got a lighted LED ring around it, and the color tells you what you're adjusting. And to switch back and forth, you click and hold and it'll change color. So purple means that you are adjusting the volume level of the microphone going to your computer, and blue means you're adjusting the headphone level, and if you just tap it and it turns red, you've muted the microphone. Now overall, I think that the single knob approach is pretty well designed. However, I do have a couple of quibbles with it. First of all, it's a little small for my big, chunky, meaty fingers. And if it projected just a few more millimeters out from the microphone, it would be easier to adjust. Another issue is that because this knob is doing double duty for microphone gain and for headphone level, it's free spinning, which means it doesn't stop at its minimum or stop at its maximum. You could just spin it forever, and you have no idea when you've reached that minimum volume level or maximum volume level, at least by looking at it, because there's no visual feedback on the microphone to tell you how loud it's set. And my last quibble with the knob, and I don't know if this is the unit that I received or this is just how it's manufactured or works in general, but the mute doesn't always work. I can click it, I can hear the click, I can feel the click, and it won't turn red. And then I click it again and it's muted. So, and one thing I literally just discovered a couple of minutes ago. I was thinking, I like the stand, I like the microphone, but it would be kind of nice if I could hook it up to, like one of those springy, stretchy, like radio announcer stands or something, and I thought there's no way to attach it. But then I looked underneath and there's a hole, but it turns out it's one of those 3/8 microphone threads. So you could take it out of this stand and put it on a regular microphone stand, and you could accomplish that. As I mentioned before, there's a headphone jack on the bottom, so you can listen back to what you've recorded. You can hear what's on your computer that way, and you can also monitor live what you're saying into the microphone. I was a little frustrated at first because the microphone is still live even when you're listening back to your computer, so you could be playing something back and then you're hearing room noises and like, what is that? Why do I hear my heavy breathing? That's because the microphone's still live and going into your headphones, as well as the computer audio going into your headphones. The solution though is just to mute the mic. And yeah, maybe they could have automated, like if you're getting signal from the microphone, to shut off the mic, but quite frankly, many users are going to need to be able to hear what's on their computer as they're speaking. So it makes the most sense the way they designed it. So you've been listening to the UM300 in cardioid mode and omnidirectional mode. And now let me show you how it rejects sound from the sides and the back when it's in cardioid mode. This is directly on axis. This is 90 degrees to the side. This is 180 degrees to the back. This is 90 degrees to the other side, and back to 0. Okay, now I have it in omnidirectional mode, and we'll do the same thing. This is on axis. This is 90 degrees to the side. This is 180 degrees. And this is 90 degrees on the other side. I thought it would be useful to let you hear another USB microphone and compare the two. And so now I have plugged into my computer as well. This is the Fifine K669. I think that's how you pronounce it. Fifine. Fifine. I'm not really sure. And so now we can do some A/B testing. The Fifine mic is a bare bones microphone. It's under $30, USB. I think it came with the stand. I can't remember. I've had it a while. And the only control on it is a single analog knob on the front for volume. There's no multiple patterns or lights or anything like that. Like I said, very bare bones, half of the price of the Movo. It's simply a cardioid microphone, no Omni or other options there. So let's go back and forth so you can hear the exact same dialogue with both microphones, and watch the screen because I'll put which microphone you're hearing. Hey, I'm trying something new, by the way. Do you like the practical light in the back there? I don't know, just wanted to shake it up a little bit. Hey, I'm trying something new, by the way. Do you like the practical light in the back there? I don't know, just wanted to shake it up a little bit. Now, comparing these two microphones together, I think the Movo has a lot more presence. It's a lot crisper. It still has the nice low end, but it's a little crisper on top, whereas the Fifine seems more rounded. It doesn't have that presence. So let's hear how they sound with plosives. Plosives are the noises when you say p sounds or b sounds. It sends out a burst of air from your mouth and plays havoc with some microphones, especially cardioid microphones, because a lot of that happens in the low end. So I've got a phrase here. Paula packaged big potatoes before picking petunias. Paula packaged big potatoes before picking petunias. So I'm not hearing a big difference between the two microphones in terms of how they handle plosives. It's roughly the same. One isn't out of control compared to the other. And of course, you could always add a pop filter if your plosives are problematic. See what I did there? The Movo UM300 is a really nice option considering the price point. The addition of the headphone monitoring jack and the switchable polar patterns is definitely an upgrade from a bare bones microphone. And it also looks really professional, and it looks like it belongs on camera in a studio in front of people, because it's really nicely designed, I think. Now, your perception of sound quality is going to be different from mine, and ultimately sound quality is a personal choice to some degree, but I think I'm going to be using this microphone quite a bit whenever I need to plug directly into my computer. So reviewing this microphone has made me wonder, do all Movo microphones have the same general sound? I mean, is there like a company sound? And I know this microphone is designed to be on a desk in a studio. It's not something you would take out in the field and record bird sounds with, but does it sound similar to like their on-camera microphones, for example? And a few months ago, I reviewed the Movo VXR10 Pro, and that's an on-camera microphone. And now I'm wondering, how does it sound compared to this one? So you know what? I'm gonna click right here because I wanna know, I wanna find out. And I think you should join me.